Hi and welcome. Now, one of the fastest ways to get amazing looking images is by understanding and using blending modes. Now, blending modes are not just present in layers, you can also find them with the painting tools, in layer styles, smart filters and in loads of other places in Photoshop. Now, each blending mode changes the way that a layer reacts with a layer underneath it. Now, you get an idea of this in a simplified version of blending by adjusting the opacity of a layer. Now, blending modes take this to the next level. Now, there is a scientific explanation for each blending mode in the help menu of Photoshop, but don't get too caught up with all these definitions malarkey. What matters is how the result looks, and the best way to find that out is to experiment. Okay, so let's get a blending. My name is Ken Fisher and this is Live Link Training. Now, in this video we're going to be exploring blending modes. Now, don't forget, if you're a fan of the printed page, there is a free ebook to accompany the video. Just click the link in the More section under the video to download it. Okay, well, let's dig in. Blending modes are a really powerful tool for combining images together in interesting ways. Let's see what the blending modes are, where we can find them and how they actually work. Now, blending modes allow us to combine or merge multiple layers together so we can see in the composite image different tones from each of the images. Now, we can do this in a creative way to create an artistic look, or in a corrective way to solve problems with our images. So now, where are the blending modes? Well, we can find these blending modes in a few different places. For example, we can go to the layers panel, and here where it says normal there's a little arrow. If you click on that, it'll open up the blend modes dialog. And we've got a similar thing. We can actually paint or heal or use the clone stamp tool with a blending mode, and here we've got the same box. We click and we can drop down the blend modes dialog box, which looks like this. Now, at first glance this dialog can be a little bit intimidating. What on earth are all these options here? There's so many options that at first glance they don't seem to make much sense. Well, to be honest, there is some deep and heavy maths associated with how blending modes work. But thankfully, we never have to know that. If you look in more detail at the dialog box, there are some grey lines. Here you can see them. And what this allows us to do is to separate the blend modes into different groups. Now, for example, the first group here are called the darken blend modes. And what they allow us to do is to blend layers together in a way that creates some sort of darkening effect. So that they all create a darkening effect, but they do it in slightly different ways. Next, we have the lighten blend modes. And these do exactly the opposite of the darken blend modes. They actually result in a lightened version of the image. Next, we have a group which are headed by the overlay blend mode. And these are the contrast adjusters. And what these tend to do is to darken the darks and lighten the lights, but they don't tend to have much of an effect on the midtone. So they end up having a more contrasty feel to the image. Next, we've got the comparative group. This group's helpful when you're trying to align things or create more artistic looks in your photographs. And last but not leastly, we have some blending modes called colour. And these really are really useful when you're working with colour. So if you begin to think about these in different groups, it can help you start to look for the right blending mode for the effect that you want to create. So we'll just go through them again. We've got the darken blend mode, we've got the lighten blend mode, we've got the contrast adjusting blend modes, we've got some comparative blend modes, and we've got the colour blend modes. So now we know what they actually are. How do they work? How do we actually use blending modes? Well, let's do that with a little example of more of a real world example. Let's say we have two images here inside a Photoshop document, and we want to combine these two images together in a creative and interesting way. Well, one way might be to try a blending mode. So here, let's try the screen blending mode and see what kind of results we get. And here we can see we've got a really interesting result. because parts of each image are visible depending on what the tones are. Now keep in mind with blending modes the options are endless. In this example here you can see how blending modes allows us to create some incredibly creative effects. It's up to you to experiment with them. There are no wrong answers, just fascinating results. Now we're going to take a look at some more examples of blending, and we're going to do that in the next video. Well, that's it. I do hope you liked it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up or leave a comment under the video, or share it with a friend, or better still, with two. Don't forget to check out the more area under the video for the link to any download files or free ebooks. And please click the subscribe button so when I upload a new video, you are the first to know. I'll see you in the very next video. Bye for now.